Hello, my name is Matthew Purdy, school counselor at Horace Mann Middle School in Charleston, West Virginia. I graduated the counseling program in 2018. First off, I want to say that Dr. Chris Schimmel and Dr. Ed Jacobs, they are a couple of goats. If you don't know what goats are, that means the greatest of all time. They have helped me out so much in life, and I just want to say thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak to everyone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to answer about 5 questions on school counseling and help you guys celebrate National School Counseling Week. The first question that I have All right, the first question that I have here is what motivated you to pursue school counseling as a career? And this for me is the reason why I am who I am. So, in high school, I struggled with depression. I went through some traumatic events, and I did not have a good high school experience. I just did not enjoy school as much as a kid should. So, it made sense to become a school counselor. I wanted to help people. I always wanted to be the person that my younger self would have needed. So, this career kind of went hand in hand with that. The next question I have here is what do you enjoy most about being a professional school counselor? And I like that it says professional school counselor and not guidance counselors. We are not guidance counselors. So, what I enjoy most about being a school counselor is the impact you make. Whether it's working with a student individually in small groups or in a classroom setting, you truly make a difference. You're not going to change everyone's life in the school, but you are going to make a difference to a select few that really need it in life. And they will always remember the difference that you make for the rest of their lives too. So you're helping people, you're guiding them through their traumas, you're giving them logic, you're helping connect their thinking part of their brain and their emotional part of the brain so things make sense. Like I said, you're guiding them through their traumas, whatever problem that they're having in life. You're that one trustworthy adult that no matter what's going on in their life, you're there for them. You listen. You can provide theories for them to help them out in life. Let's see what I have written down here. And also going into the classrooms. I really enjoy going into classrooms and providing a mental health curriculum. Here at my school, we teach about meditation. We teach about trauma and how it affects our brain. We teach about a growth mindset, and I plan to teach on diversity here later this year. But yeah, I really enjoy the impact you make with the students. All right, so my next question here is, how did W's school counseling program impact your capacity to support the needs of students and school communities? So W's school counseling program helped me help myself first, and what I mean by that is they have a growth group, which is kind of like group counseling that you do with your cohort, and your professors support you, your cohort supports you, and you work through things that you have been through in your own life. And I believe this is extremely important in the counseling world because if you have a client that has been through something traumatic themselves, it's important for you to what I was saying, it's important for you to be able to help that person in front of you. And it would be difficult for you to do that if you haven't worked on your own stuff first. So I always say a growth group was one of the best things that ever happened to me in the school counseling program. And in general, the W school counseling program is life-changing. I mean, for at least for me, it really did change my life and how I think about things and how I approach things in life now. It's all different. The W program also has top-notch courses. There were many times where I'd be sitting in a class and I'd be listening and I'd be like, am I in a class or I'm sitting in a TED Talk? The professors do a great job. They make it, what they say is you have higher level learning, which you're able to apply techniques and theories in counseling. And from day one, I remember Dr. Ed Jacobs, we practiced counseling. We had no clue what we were doing, but we still practiced. And you will practice every day until you graduate. And that's what makes W's counseling program amazing. All right, so my next question is, how has your job changed since the pandemic? How has your job changed since the pandemic? I guess I can't talk. So school counseling has changed quite a bit this year. like you all know that we have remote learning, we have in-person learning. There's a lot of teachers that are scared. There's a lot of stress in the building. And as far as my world, I'm trying to balance how to meet the needs of the students that I'm working with virtually and meeting the needs of students in person. In person when they're here, we socially distance and we're able to follow all the guidelines. And I'm able to do counseling. I wear my mask, I sanitize, and I go into classrooms still, teach my lessons. I don't do small groups because in person, I don't do small groups because my office is small and I don't have a place to meet to properly socially distance, so that's been difficult. I do offer small groups through Schoology, which is our remote learning platform, and that has been great. We have helped students that are new to the school in sixth grade, students that are going through stress during the pandemic. So that the balance of virtual learning and in-person learning has been difficult, and uh, my job has changed that I'm seeing a lot more grief. It's just been heavy. It's been a very heavy year. The students they're hurting. They're socially isolated. They're living at home, and a lot of times when they live at home, that's where a lot of the problems start. Um, and you're not able to be there for them as much as you would be in the past, and I think that takes a toll on you. You feel like maybe you aren't doing the best you can, but just know that you're doing all you can, considering all the facts. All right, my next question and my last question here is, what challenges has the pandemic presented in your school, and how have you helped navigate those challenges? I think the biggest challenge is trying to find where some students are. We have some high-risk students, the ones that we really need to keep an eye on, and we just don't know where they are. Our social worker will make contacts, and we'll try calling them, no answers. We'll go to their address. Usually they move all the time, and we just can't locate them. They're not logging into their classes. So really there's a list of students that we just don't know how they're doing. Another challenge is grief. There's a lot of death within our community from COVID, from just general death. It's more than I've seen in regular years. This is my third year as a school counselor. I know that's not a lot, but it still is probably the heaviest year I've had so far. And you have to work on your own mental health so that way you can continue doing this each and every day, because you don't know what's going to be presented in front of you. So navigating those challenges are difficult, and just the pandemic in general, everything's different. Nothing's normal, and I hope that we get back to normalcy soon, but things take time. Pandemics are life-changing, they're traumatic. This is going to be something that our students are going to remember for the rest of their lives. It's going to affect them in many ways. I think it's going to harm them socially and emotionally. And as school counselors, it's important for you all to be prepared for that. So do everything for yourself to be able to handle the needs of others. But yeah, that is all I have for you all today. I do want to say that the world is changing each and every day, and we don't know what's going to be presented the next day. Life is short. That is a lesson I have learned this year, and it's important to find that inner peace and to do all you can for yourself to help you, so that way you can help everyone else. But thank you to Dr. Chris Schimmel and Dr. Ed Jacobs and the W Counseling Program for all you have done for me. I appreciate you guys. Stay in touch.